We should thing on the show. We're gonna just song over from previously. I'll come with the third switch back here in a second. But anyway, friendly neighborhood is coming to the installment of Bullpen adventure between inside BJ and the grappling. I hope you having a good day. If not, I'll have an even better with friends here. I want to say hello to somebody who has been working hard. And when I say he's working hard, you would say to yourself, "Rap doesn't sound like him." In this, yes, it's kind of fitting. One handsome Carol, who this week, not handsome, hardworking Kevin.
I'm doing great, man. You're willing to invest in self-aggrandizement.
You know, it's very, very funny. That was not the lower I had written for you. It was, I don't know why it's coming up, but we see these things in post. Anyway, Kevin, you pumped a lot of in our that we'll get to in a little bit, but how have you been able to do that? How have you been able to rally the troops?
Corruption, people's houses, standard political maneuvering. Gotta hit that pain trail.
You did. Can I share the fact that you have the thing, and I'll look at it to make sure I'm not speaking turn, but the amount
We've got like kind of a big family, right? I sent it to my guy.
No.
And then I said, "Hey guys, in any other group chats?" And then like Kiahi, KGF, if y'all don't know, I sent it to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I posted it on share it," and I think I'm like, I'm probably in a lot of group chats right now. I am the BJJ Instagram world for a week. Probably next week.
Perfect time to free.
Yes. Perfect. So I think we got that one fixed over this way. Joined by a friend, a recurring we see all the time on this show. Why don't you say hello to the wandering himself, Isaac.
Hola.
Isaac, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my man. How are y'all?
We're pretty good. I should say this. That's actually true. But what was it like at Jiu-Jitsu Overdose? Like, how many hours of editing do you think you put into your time there, sir?
Well, I don't know if anybody noticed, but it was kind of like somebody said it on a call that earlier that it was like a PGF that it turned into, because everybody there was like a bunch of the dream team from PGF. So that included some of the production people. And Keelan and I got there and we talked to Octavio and the guys that run the show with Combat Jiu-Jitsu, and we were like, "Hey, we're here." And they were like, "Oh, y'all are on vacation. Have fun." We're like, "Well, we're here. We have our equipment. So we're doing a couple things. Y'all want us to do something?" And next thing I knew, we were filming the whole thing. We got all kinds of B footage. We got all the different stuff. So to answer your question, I didn't stop until Monday. I started editing on Thursday, and I stopped on Monday. So the hours are countless.
I can only imagine that. But I will tell you this, and we just in case you guys are wondering, yes, I am a size L. In case you want to get me for Xmas, I'm just saying, no rash guards. And if they run like a little bit too small, like an XL is fine. But I feel like it's annoying when these people don't do real sizes. They do rash guard sizes, because when they're like, "Ooh, it fits tight." No, just change your sizing options. I am not actually an XL. Do you know how debilitating it is to actually think that you're an XL for some of these sizes when you are not? You should go look in the real world. When you make somebody who's a big boy at 205 think that they're a triple XL, I think that's a little rude. So I think the system needs to get their shit together. But that's just me. Let me go ahead and bring it back.
I mean, who's deciding that?
I don't know. I think big rash guard is deciding.
Big rash guard.
It's just
That
been
makes
very disappointing because at one point I actually had to order something for Kevin. I was like, I think I need to get you an XL, and Kevin was like, no, me, no, and I was like, listen, dude, I'm not lying. I think it really is an XL. Not even that, dude. You're not that stacked. Considering most of the people that we all know, you are not in the top tier of being stacked. But when my man was like, Ref, under no circumstances, get me an XL. And I was like, okay. And then it came in. He's like, you should have gotten me an XL. I was like, brother, I
need an XL.
Rude. I was like, this is not a judgment call. This is I think I'm just trying to be nice here and make sure you have a good fitting sized rash guard. But nonetheless, we do some topics to get to here. Isaac, I do appreciate you for a minute. I'm going slightly your camera, though, because you did move from where I last left it. So, bam. Now, Isaac, you shave your beard.
Oh yeah, it's trimmed.
Or that you trimmed it.
You can go back. Yeah.
What part do you think I'm going to trim it? Because I am so it's a little bit more than I normally, but I'm in my winter kind of cocoon. What do you say enough is enough, Isaac?
Bring. You go to eat your toast and it like brushes off toppings. You're like, all right, this is.
So the thing that does you is toast. The simplest is the one.
Okay, clarify your tostadas. Like when that was, I had tostadas. I was trying to eat it, and it was like sweeping it off, and I was like, "Oh, I got about this."
Just angry shaving your beard.
Do appreciate that you have to tell the lone Mexican on this show and be like, no, not toast wrap, tostadas. My people call tostadas, sir, just to make sure you are aware of what might be.
You know, I mean, that's just what I was eating. Distinctly, it was a tostada, like with some guacamole and the whole shebang.
Guacamole, Raph, if you didn't know.
You're just digging my grave deeper. Thanks, Kevin.
Okay. Kevin has never refrained from an opportunity to shitpost his life. And you know what was weird is that, dude, his posts, I had one person say anything about Kevin. I hid that. Like, I don't want this. I know it's engagement. I don't want it. And then I had one person say something shitty about Tim. And that one was so non-offensive that I go, I guess I'll allow that one. And there was, I wake up in the morning and I see there's a whole chain of conversation that happens. So, Kevin, who is that person that is responding to that?
He went to Seattle, and he's actually a super fucking guy. And he got through the grapevine. He got sent to him. You guys, like, be sure to. He took it upon himself. You fucked him. Oh, I was like, he tagged me in it. So just so you know, Tim's in it. However, I love the energy. Engaged voter.
So, Isaac, have you voted in any of these polls? I don't think I've seen you vote in any of these polls.
I voted in one of them, like the very first one, I feel like.
All right, but the rest of them you had no interest in, including two of the co-hosts of the show. So I'm going to give you an opportunity now, Kevin, before we get to the board, to make your pitch why you should have Isaac's vote.
Man, why wouldn't I have your vote? We've worked together forever. Can you imagine? That's at too brutal. We've worked together. We've trained together.
I saw somewhere that you can buy. Have a rebuttal to that?
I am. Listen, you got to. I'm not actually real. I'm just here to our democratic system. That said, you should totally get behind it. I'm a cool guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember any Russian I can butcher. I'm just selling this joke.
You actually started malfunctioning, and your default thing was Christopher Walken. A cool guy. Cool
I'm a cool guy.
Yeah, it's just terrible. Well, Dick, you tell us yes or no. Do you think that made an impression on you?
I'm keeping my options open.
Wow. Well, clearly you have, because you only voted one. Just put up our 8th poll today. So I don't know how more open you're going to keep your options, sir.
Where the
Closed
polls
8 so far.
I mean,
7.
technically, the polls have not. Oh, nope.
A lot.
Everybody tries to certify reaction anytime they get slightly. They're like, nope. Results are closed.
Yeah,
I
took a screen cap. It's over.
You took a screen cap, yes, but that doesn't mean shit. First of all, second of all, you can't announce yourself the winner. I love that you put up the. I want to thank you all, fam, for getting me through. I was like, you haven't got through dick yet. I still haven't called
corruption.
This race.
I think
Yes.
I'm calling for corruption.
Do you know? I got Jose for the little I love that meme clip of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every time Reese does something cool, he beating Tim.
I mean, theoretically beating Tim. You know, there were a couple times when you had leads that then went away.
Tim's been leading throughout. We're going back and forth. It has been. This is the most hotly contested. Personally, I can't imagine.
Did you add any message to Tim as this was going on? Because there's the group chat, but I know the boys will text each other on occasion, sometimes to create something at my expense. However, none of them have worked. But nonetheless, have you guys been in talks with each other?
Yeah, we were going to mess with the outcome of the election. we were stuck with it. We've been messaging and talking back and forth about it, and we were both kind of surprised at how many people fucking voted. Like, I've been going and trying to get votes. I fully expect. It's like I'm working my ass to votes out. I knew I had to overcome. Tim is a sweetheart. Everybody like him. Number 2 is I am very. There are a lot of people.
Wait.
What? I can make both.
No.
Yo!
Terrible.
Oh,
Is
does
it
that
the
mean
twos?
this one's on?
Oh, I can announce my win and throw the
No.
fees up.
You can't do that. 100% delete this footage.
So you're talking about his professionalism before the show because of the whole thing. Well, now he's behind.
Holy shit! It's like somebody gave me the early morning talk radio keyboard where you can.
I've always been so mad at that feature, and despite my best intentions, I can't fully delete it. The thing that's truly aggravating is the first time it happened, I guess did this, and then balloon popped up where it was like a floating thumb, and I don't know, did I press a? And I spent another hour editing it to take it out. It made me get up and go oh, it's my mess up. Let me get rid of it. And then I fixed it. It happened again. I go, I definitely impressed something that time. And it happened with, of all people, Braylor Grout, who in his most surfer moment going that again and then does two exploded like confetti.
Wait, two is the funfetti? What?
That's the one I was trying to get to do that. I was trying to get him to do that one. I want to point out, Raph, that my feature's turned off. I want to point out my professional there.
Thank you.
I'm never turning it off.
Wow. Well, yourself as a silhouette a lot more on the show.
That's my contract from now on. I want access to these reactions.
I cannot tell you how mad it makes me. And that the worst is that I have no control. It's one thing if I did. And I could as everything here on this show, I just fix it. I just always make it work. And this is what few areas I just don't have control power over. And it's very aggravating.
Yeah, you gave a toddler a whistle.
I did. And you know what, though? I'm going to keep giving you fake gestures to make just in hopes that we get you to do the things that I can meme. And that'll be the way it anymore.
We just get Kevin throwing gang signs.
Well,
Hey, Kevin, do this real quick.
No, yeah. What happens if I do this? Eyes turn red.
None clip that.
I will tell you, part of me, like, whenever I do compete, I am grossly out of breath after it is all said and done. And there have been moments where I've hand raised myself when I did not win. Because, no, that was me. I'm fucking exhausted. I have legitimately thought at one point I might do a 10th planet if I accidentally win. And so it's been grossly in my mind, like, don't do anything. Literally, don't gesture anything. Because that is the moment when I do not have my wits about me. So I definitely
the spirits just take you over. So sometimes the Holy Spirit just takes you over, Raph, and you just gotta let it speak. You just gotta start throwing.
I love telling 10th Planet, like 10th Planet people during like photos that they have it backwards. Oh, bro, wrong hand. And I'll have
no.
take a second.
Wait. Hold on. Wait.
You should know that I have done it more as a photographer, because I will fuck with people and go like, "Oh, you have it the wrong way," and they'll seriously be like, "No, but 1-0," and I go, "No, it's backwards on my camera." And they go, "Wait, 1-0?" And I go, "That's it, you got it."
Like, nailed it.
Mercury.
And you think to yourself, you're like, these guys are trusting me to give them a good photo, and I am too indulgent of making sure I am entertained as it is all going on.
It cracked me up. Like, have 10th Planet nailed their like post match thing, and then you see all the teams that is and try to come in behind it and like do something also cool, like Pedigo, and it's not even. That's not nearly as cool. I like before I bat Chris Wojcik's team, Seraphin, before he got to B team. Loved Seraphin, phenomenal. Like like it can't just the 1-0 is too cool.
I will say that I do like. I'm not really talking trash because it's from a company. Is that the Zenith guy like that? Is
Zoltan.
Yeah, no, the where's my car?
Yep.
I listen, guys. As somebody who lives in California, I don't necessarily feel a need to gang signs all the time. So I do get very wary about some of the children where I go, throw up your gang signs very quickly and then let's move on. Not trying to get shot. Or specifically me, who is not throwing up the gang sign, but might be in the line of fire. So I've definitely been very on that side. We go and transition to the board, gentlemen. There are no. We should start with this. Go ahead and tell Major 2 funding. But what 2 is. Apparently this time it is going to be teams. Start here with you, one Kevin Sherrill. Teams. What does it mean for the larger of the jiu-jitsu community, and are you excited by this?
I'm excited about it. More so, be real. A couple like big apprehensions about it. One is that he hosted weight class. I like that they're doing no all-star teams, right? They have to be real affiliations. But he posted weight classes, which is not traditionally like ADCC weight classes. Not traditionally how it works. So apparently quintet mixed up in there. He's also like when this people hate stalling ever, and I don't, not to second guess, but like who are we learning? It's a huge part of quintet rule. Huge part of against their submission threat. I don't know, man. Like I'm a little bit apprehensive. I hope the pit, but obviously me and my homies are keeping an eye on. Like to drop a team in, team with team in. But no, not to get too high yet.
Did you feel a certain way that you did? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the rubbed me the wrong way philosophically.
Well, okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to go on anymore. Like, there are certain things that I feel are, once they hit the I'm bitch level of joke, I try not to overdo it because more than that. But I do recognize it's important once in a while as a joke, like when it fits. For Kevin, and it occasionally does. But can we make the amendment? Not for us. I don't think we. But the committee be better on the stall calls out Kevin 2025.
Yeah.
Just say. Okay, that's all. That's all. Listen, fans, just letting you know, I have a certain caliber of being. But Kevin, did you feel a certain way when they didn't mention your team as one of the teams?
No, American Top Team gets over all the time. It's a jiu-jitsu powerhouse, like guys like obviously Paul, and you've got like Games out there, and like we have the best MMA team in the world. We're an MMA. Two of the super camps in the world are ATTs. Like I a lot, but he listed 8 teams in there, and he listed, and I was like, there's room there. Then obviously, big names, his team, right? You've got Enzo Grady's going to be nasty, Atos, whatever. I'm sure Pigo will have a ferocious team, but nah, I'm kind of used to people being, does jiu-jitsu turns? Question.
All right, Isaac, I'd like to get your response to this. What did you feel like when they announced it was going to be a team form, sir?
It's a very concept. It's like what Kevin was saying. There's still kind of some like mystery on what the like exact rule set is and like how they're going to approach it. I was along the same lines of thinking like, so they're doing a quintet type of, but then it looks like it's not a quintet. So really more clarity. And I mean, from a marketing standpoint, I get what he's doing where there's like the mystery and the idea of, building up all this conversation, the whole reason we're doing this. I mean, bravo, good job. We're all doing it, playing the game. Got it. But the team stuff, I like it. I think it's cool. It's neat. We explored in the PG at one point. I remember we had like kind of the quintet style. It gave it to where it was more of, like Kevin said, it's still gamified. It's still like guys try to, like, for the lack of a better term, like cheat the game to win the game, which no, you're just sportsmanship there. Like, or that's not the word I'm looking for, but like gamesmanship where they're trying to win the game. And the team stuff, like, I just like that we've seen pretty decent variations of that already. And so, like, I'm interested to see how it plays out. I hope it means that we get to see more diverse, like, people play against each other. But I don't know if that'll be the case. Because, like, if you have a team sport, then you have people that range. And that's kind of always been one of the separating factors of combat sports is, like, it's individualistic to the point that, like, you don't ride the bench. Like, you play the game. And now we're kind of making it that same hierarchy type thing. I don't know. It's often the philosophical stuff and things like that too. But I'm interested to see. I knew he was going to pull off a number 2. The first one was so big and such like a splash in the pond that, like, there was no doubt that he was going to pull off number 2. I hope that this creates enough momentum for, like, the sport to keep growing and everybody to keep going and there to be a third. So, like, regardless of the format, I just hope it exposes something new and it's not like a repeat of something we've already seen, like in the quintet formats and like that. Like I said, everybody hates stalling, so I can agree with him on the, like, this not liking the stalling, but I don't know that this is the answer to the stalling.
Just one thing, reiterate one thing you said. I knew he was going to pull off a
A CJI too.
A number stuff like that. Childlike mind thinks of it a certain way. I mean, if anybody's going to pull off, it's going to be Craig. There's kind of a hidden genius of that. Its initial read was like, keep referring to it as a number, and I'm thinking, like, what if it wants to go number one with these days?
I don't know. There were a couple of jokes. I'm just not going to make them because I'm live TV. So.
Fair enough. Let me just give you guys my quick thing here. All right. Here's what I tell you about the CJI 2 or the CJI 2 that I know of right now. So they mentioned the idea of weight classes. Yes, normally 4 quintets supposed to all have people who make under a certain amount of weight. In this one, in having the categories, that's interesting, but Craig has also alluded to the idea of having a group, a member that could run the whole gamut. And that would harken back to a Lachlan Giles when the BJJ Fanatic team competed at Uriah Faber put together. So that's a possibility. That could be cool, but it does seem to jumble things together. They also mentioned the idea of a card, and I don't know what that means. Does that mean it could be one person that fluctuates? Is that an extra member that kind of tag in or have somebody work at a certain class? So there's a lot of unpredictable variables here for this tournament, but I like the idea of teams for this reason. Teams are easy narratives to do. Obviously, the $1 million makes it very compelling, and we had some amazing matchups at CJI 1. But for the second one, I am intrigued why they wanted to go the teams route. It's my favorite to commentate because the narratives build, you tell all these great stories. On that night, that's going to be at least what? About different grapplers. Is it that they wanted to split up part of that cash prize? Because if you do that, you're not winning $1 million, but $200K isn't bad if your team does a lot of the great work. And let's say you're a project member that does some of it. I just find it odd that we're winning teams for this one reason, which is that it does seem like it is similar to the PGF in that the week there is a team format with the big prize. Whereas before, the singularity of CJI made it stand out. And when it's ADCC year, is it to cast a wide net? You retract to CJI 3 the next year when it's an ADCC year individually? Or are they just seeing what they can do now? So there's a lot of variables I don't think we have the answers to just yet. But I just don't understand when they said there's more to come and they said it's a element. What does that mean? So I'll ask you guys before we move on to another topic. What does element mean to you?
It means you're getting an all-star team anyway. Like quintets, there are so many teams out there that have 4 nasty motherfuckers. Like, if you're looking at autos, you're gonna get Tolos. Then you can grab like Kain, right? You can grab Luke, and then got a 5th guy who's your wild card. I don't think they need a, but you're really thing with like the Henzo Gracie guys, the B team guys. A lot of these teams, these big powerhouse cards, it just means that there's probably wild cards are a great idea. Like back everything I just said in the last 6 seconds. Because there's so many that are on teams that can now like say, and I do this does have very good his own students. Maybe he would, but I don't know that he can field like a quintet that really is in play for players.
But isn't watching right now and is not in the Instagram side. So it's not like I'm going to pause you here. I'm glad you were able to have that discovery with us live. It's very funny when it has the moment that goes, no, take all that.
It's like, you just see the lights go.
I was the Golden State Warriors and but you like it's not actually for them. It's guys who don't have a team that can really make a play. so they can like free their way to a team.
So let's stop. I love the no all-star teams. How does 10th play this?
You're asking as like a representative of that?
No, I'm just asking you a list. No all-star teams, but 10th planet team. What the hell does that mean? Because it's part of a large umbrella, sure. Real is he alluding to the fact that these people have to train together so many hours? What does team mean in 2024?
That is a good question. But like when you bring up the 10th planet thing, I've recently had conversations with guys like this where in you're sitting there with Germany, England, somebody that's from Ireland, somebody from Saudi Arabia, somebody that's from like that. And then like one person that's not in the group that's not on like the 10th planet team, they'll be like, hey, do y'all like always do this? Like just right? That's so I know that there's flaws in all teams, but I don't know. What is the depth of the team? You know, does it have to? Because I know top team they have multiple locations, right? And you guys, do y'all train like that?
I have never Gilbert was my fucking life, but like I'll dap him up, but like that, or I'm sure American top team, some dude.
Yeah,
I'm fucking phenomenal 66 Q guy. Have people fucking in there, bro, for the million that I never fuck if, but they're American top. Should you really break it down? Like Ian, Paul, Sergio, Ernesto are all on different fucking teams, different locations. Like Ernesto's a coach at American Top Team Sandy Springs, the coach at Top Team Sandy Springs. I'm at Lima, those are at Atlanta and Superfly interchangeably.
So my
every week
would like why has this happened before in the sport? Like why is it all of a sudden now like because Craig's doing his thing, all the teams are going to suddenly rally together to get paid? Is it the $1 million? Is that yeah, like I'm quickly yes, that's absolutely it.
In my million, he's my best friend.
I mean, I feel you. There's that.
See, like the Kyrie Irving says that, and asked during the playoffs when they were on the same team, Cavs, and they're like, "How do you feel about him? The Earth is flat." And Braun looks dead to the reporter, talking about my point guard, and he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Flat, it's flat. Let's play ball." It's like, I don't give a fuck for keeping give a shit. Someone needs to snag that. That's a perfect CJI for 10th planet.
Top now, which is all these happenings at CJI 2. We're talking about actual tournament, the showcase, if you would. But there's going to be some super fights. Kevin, so you're going to go first. You were wondering what kind of super fights you need, so I'm going to give the board to you first, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I just for comedy's sake, it'd be really funny to have Gordon Ryan, CJI, and that he said that he's not an ADCC. I would love for him to join the ranks of the Cockroaches. That's right. I feel like Gordon's well actually enough pride. Like he's not going to that one. $1 million, Craig will forever. I'm really intrigued to see who Craig can pull out there. I'd like to see some game UFC stars now. This is what I'm excited to see. Now that it's like real mainstream money, can we get UFC stars? Can we get actual celebrity? I legit want to see guys like Tom Hardy roll. You posted that clip for the brackets. I was like, yeah, that would be kind of cool to have a celebrity on CJI. I want that. It doesn't have to be like the best jiu-jitsu in the world. I want to see Tom Hardy versus I don't fucking know who else does jiu-jitsu.
So you a Hardy as one side of it, not who he's fighting.
Tom Hardy versus Mike Jones. Let's run it. Sign the contract.
yeah.
Stop talking.
Let's
Dude, I would be Tom Hardy versus like, Bane versus Wick. Don't even let them by their real names. Bane versus John. Let's go.
Do you know who jiu-jitsu guy that was an actor is? The guy from Boondock that played the younger brother.
Patrick Flannery, I think.
No, that's the white beard guy, the younger guy, the younger brother.
Nathan Reed.
I don't know.
He's
They
the
all
who's in
trained
Walking
jiu-jitsu.
Dead, right?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. I didn't. He trained a ton. Like,
Training back then.
yeah, but I mean, listen, dude. Tom Hardy is a hard guy to roll with, and as Kevin has alluded, he might be on all the sauce, and Kevin would know.
I mean, why would you not?
I mean, listen, it's not for us to decide or to speculate. If you're Kevin, Gerald,
I'm throwing that accusation.
yeah. But
Paul Diaz on steroids.
wow.
I mean,
Worst part is,
do I need to face?
if but there is a possibility you digitally. It depends on how things shake out. So we'll see. But nonetheless, I'll ask you: do you have any?
The celebrity death match I think is a good idea. I had that same thought because a lot of these aging grapplers, I don't really want to watch them roll, to be honest, because like I've seen them roll and we've seen them at their prime. Especially after this, like I've had this conversation at Mike Tyson thing, like do you really want to watch that? Like, are we really at that point in society where we want to watch our old warriors just get buried by the new ones and like in weird, fantastic ways? And that, like, I don't want to watch that, you know? So like, there's some of the guys that are still kind of like, you know, if we're talking about the Sizzos and like nothing being off the table, like some of these guys still have a few years left in the tank, especially if they're, but you know, I would want to watch it in a rule set that allows for it to be fun for them to like try to play the game. And I don't care who loses and who wins. I want to see them play their jiu-jitsu game. And so like whatever rule set opens that up to them, that's what I would want to see it in. If we're talking about honestly putting it that way.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go ahead and make my pitch here because there was a lot of notes about this, I guess, earlier in the year. I think we could be considering, what about a star like Blue Belt right now? Why don't we have her take on Giselle? Because Giselle, famously, very that has been teaching. She's probably getting lessons on the side. So why not? Last year, if you're not due women's quality and the category, then give the women an equal chance for the celebrity matches. That's all. No, there are
Ashton Kutcher at brown belt, right?
He is.
Okay, go ahead.
You're right.
I think
Maybe not. We'll see.
Ashton versus Demi.
Demi Lovato, not Demi Moore. He famously dated Demi Moore, so he's just Demi's.
Yeah.
At the beginning, right? Brad.
You imagine in Kevin's version, he's just didn't remember which Demi he did, so he's like, you.
He just wants some more.
Just, wow.
Wow.
Nonetheless, they put together if the site's going to be the singular matches that have variety, I think that's interesting. And I guess are they doing 2 prelims day 1 and guys in finals day 2? And additionally, that's a lot to get through. So I wonder how they bring that sort of stuff. And I guess when I came back to, which person who goes on a run that could speed up the day, that could be a lot of fun. But I don't know that there's a ton in that race. There's a lot of kind of factors I figured out about this, but there's talk about. We'll go to the topic right now as well. Kevin pitched as well. Craig is now doing documentary for called Park Alone. Now, I think the question that Kevin has is it real? And Kevin, explain why you're skeptical of it and why you're questioning its authenticity.
I mean, yeah, because it's Craig Jones. For the first few months of CJI one's announcement, like I was like, okay, real? Like is this like are we for real? Like you're doing a thing? Like B Team being the name of his gym, their gym was like for a while. I was like, are we like really? Like never really know with for a long time the intergender was like 2 years of them joking about it. So I don't really know. I hope it would be really cool for Craig, and I think he'd be the guy to do it, to establish, like you can do jiu-jitsu into like a lifestyle thing. Like that can be not like rappers. It's more than rap. Like you're making people buy into these people's qualities. I would love for jiu-jitsu people athletes to like they start developing a little bit of quality and not just respect and honor. And I want to is actually talk and learn to sell yourself. I think that would pave the way for it.
That I'm going to turn to Isaac. What are your
thoughts? So my initial reaction is that sigh. As I hear Kevin talk, I agree with him. I like what Craig's done for the community. I like what Craig's like pushed forward and the type of stuff. I feel like sometimes he goes heavy in the paint, and it's in a way that like it makes it hard to actually like keep pushing us into the direction that we're trying to as a community and as a sport. But then the like punk rock DIY like version of my brain goes, no, this is what you're supposed to do. So him being an individual and like making his stuff the way he makes it, I like it and I can get behind it. And he works with like pretty good professionals. Like I worked with a couple of the creatives and stuff that were around him, and like he does a good job. Like there's a reason that he's made what he's made. So I'll be interested to see it. I'll probably watch it. Like I'm always interested to see what the community's making, everybody creates. It's interesting. The nod towards the Bourdain I can appreciate, as long as it's respected in the way that it's like presented and it's not something that's like super cringy. And I feel cringy calling it cringy on the internet.
I think the idea is with Craig, almost like the inverse happens, where they're just sound reality. So alone, there's definitely to it is to the idea of Anthony was very tied to the jiu-jitsu community and encouraging people to find a healthy outlet. Having said that, Craig, you go, is there an additional joke here that I'm not aware of? And it seems, though, that there's cool things that you start to learn about other cultures or other subgenres or things, and it seemed very playful. And then you see something, hey, Dad came, and then when that happens, you're like, wait, hold on. Is this a scripted element? I have to tell you, that line has been blurred for you. So it's not necessarily in that respect. It's kind of odd to see those. But nonetheless, like, it's been working. Like, it's been very interesting to see how people excited about these sorts of we in jiu-jitsu get more and more deal and attention. So the idea is let's see what it looks like. But when you talk about being a travel show host, I think to myself, I just don't know this. And I can tell you very, very approach it because it's hard to doing that. So those are just the casual observations I have to begin with. But who knows? Maybe it's all going to be a sequel to the Naked Gun, and we just don't know it. Or something to that where it's going to be like, just kidding, a whole joke the whole time. And we bring this up. Wallo Jason says, hello, fellas. Hope you all have a great Christmas. Thank you very much about that. I'm a happy holiday, sir. How dare you not know that I don't care. Like half the time, if someone says Christmas, it doesn't burn me. Chrysler.
Happy Christmas.
This is very funny. Even if you start to say it, like, to see the look on some face as they say it, that to me is more interesting than the authenticity of whether they mean it. Because as they say it, you can go, hey, happy holidays. Or you get the people who are holidays. You're like, oh, you mean it. I don't think the first guy think you actually holidays. That person hates the fact that he has to say holidays. That's funny.
I like the Merry Christmas. I like, Merry Christmas. And the, like, I don't really do. I go, okay, then don't. I don't get. You can have a good day or not. Exist. You don't have to enjoy it. I guess you can do whatever you.
Amazing.
I don't Hanukkah, but I hope I have a good one, man.
I hope it's a good one for everyone. Our next, and Isaac, I'm going to give you the one because you were the one that had. I'm wondering, is there stuff you didn't see jiu-jitsu? Did some post shows here? The bull. Is there stuff that we didn't see? What that we didn't see, sir?
Well, the things that I'm at liberty to disclose, I don't even know. Did y'all see? Has it come full circle on the internet on what happened to Eddie? Or am I breaking news?
Yeah, it's all. No, it's all. You should definitely talk about it because it's all kosher to talk about.
I feel like that was the little it was like the little devil that pops up on your shoulder telling you to talk.
Listen, liberties were made to be taken, friend. Liberties were made to be taken. You go ahead and do that.
Eddie Bravo overdosed on jiu-jitsu at the jiu-jitsu overdose. That's the news I'm breaking. So it was tons of jiu-jitsu. There was a little bit of comedy, and then there was a lot of just sun and what I don't know. Have y'all ever experienced an all-inclusive resort? Because I mean, when they say all-inclusive, I mean there's a buffet there for like 19 hours, 18 hours a day. So there's food, there's jiu-jitsu, there's a beach. There were seminars. Eddie named a new move. I don't know if y'all saw that on the internet. And we saw a bunch of really, really, really exciting brackets because every single night delivered on the jiu-jitsu. There wasn't a single night that wasn't. I might have maybe not have put EBI right in between all of the combat jiu-jitsu because that kind of felt like you were like, oh my God, everybody's getting slapped. This is crazy. And then EBI was crazy in itself. Like the whole way it played out, there were some people that died. Like it was great. But it was slower because there weren't slaps. And so that kind of pointed out how people enjoy violence. We know that people want blood. So it was really good. The combat jiu-jitsu shows here in Mexico are ecstatic. They are fun. It reminds me of my favorite time period in MMA was 2008, 9 to 2012, 2013 in the Southeast. It was lawless. It was crazy. People were fighting in abandoned buildings and in farmhouses. It was crazy. So going down here, it's a bunch of the quality of the mats is nice. Everything is nice. The production's really good. But then the crowd is just as into it as like ever. Like everybody's excited. People are getting slapped and people are getting submitted, and there's all kinds of like excitement that happens in the show. So like it's fun, and plus it so exactly what they sold was it was jiu-jitsu overdose. Like it was all the homies that were doing jiu-jitsu. We were hanging out. There was a late night rave / open mat on the last night. And some people that were not 10th Planet were kind of blown away when they walked in. They were like, it's 11 o'clock at night and everybody's out here rolling and doing jiu-jitsu. This is crazy. So
let me get back to that, because you mentioned that there was a rate, because I thought that was...
No, the rave, the open. All right, look, you have to about 10th Planet guys. We like to side the lines. Schedules mean nothing to these people, and so to a point that they couldn't really decide what everybody wanted to do, and they were like, you know what? Let's have a rave and an open mat to close out the weekend. And everybody's like, yeah, let's do that. And so then everybody showed up, and there was a DJ, and it was they weren't playing DJ. They were just playing it over the PA, but they were like talking about having a DJ for the rave. So that may be where you got that information, where they were like, there's going to be a rave. But they had like lights going and everybody was rolling, and it was like a really cool, like, if you're like that type of jiu-jitsu head that loves to do jiu-jitsu, like at any given moment, I'd love to be in an open mat. Like I'm headed there here in just a little bit to go train tonight. Like every chance I can get on an open mat, I'm on an open mat. And so like the same type people were kind of there for the camp. And so you're hanging out and it's 11 o'clock at night and the homies are out there rolling and they've got like music playing and it's like a big party. It's like, it was super fun.
Okay. Now the weird place I got my information from was Eddie at the end of who said, next year there's a rave. And I said, oh, so that's a next year thing. You come on and tell me like, oh, amazing. What the fuck are we like? Why are you for next year? And then just like, dude, we're doing it today.
Guys like to do. Like I said, it was true rave. I would imagine
just the all of those guys next year, right now.
I think we ended up with Jeff. Like that's exactly how that got.
Just was hoping the I think that's one of the worst moments in that film, and there are many sequels that were unnecessary. Nonetheless, now for John, very thank you again for all your hard work. Appreciate it. It was very fun to see it from that other side and get some peeks in here. We did mention we're going to bring this back up, so I feel like it's time to address this. Feelings on the bracket. I'll ask to kind of walk me through anything that has kind of piqued your interest as you have been watching, because to me, when that bracket touched earth, because you leaked it, and then not only leaked it, but captured me several of ways. Like, oh, I just figured you'd want that to happen. And I was like, oh, would have. Well, that's very interesting for you to have made it that assessor. So what exactly were you thinking and feeling as you saw it play out? That is not the bracket.
I was
that's a different bracket.
Thinking.
Whoa,
that is a very different bracket. But go ahead, Kevin.
I was thinking you are welcome, Raph.
No, don't do that. Don't.
Happy to help.
That you could do to anybody like me. Ridiculous. Antagonize your fucking welcome. And I was like, you can get the fuck out of here with your welcome. That's why everyone started talking about, like, I did all this work and set up this microphone. I'm like, don't make me do the fucking trump card that I have.
Yeah, I saw who on my side of the bracket, and I was like, this definitely wasn't intended to be shared, but I'm on the bracket. And so's Cam Hurd, Travis Thomas, Paul Ardea, Chris Wojcik, Tim. And I was like, so I can just tag these people for the shit talk now. And One of my jiu-jitsu, we'll say mentors and coaches, Sergio, has always urged me that you talk it immediately every time.
Sergio,
the second is you go.
tells you this.
Oh yeah. Got on to me. I don't know if I'm gonna go. You were talking about having a Snyder on the show on the GF because his first day he lost. He got submitted 3 times, and he told me last year about how I didn't belong on the PGF this season. And out because to 3 draws with Jen and Canoe, and then he got submitted times in a row, and I was like, bro, I really want to ask like now submitted more than I have my whole career in 4 seasons of the PGF. How's that feel? And then he ended up scoring, and a bunch of people got injured, and he ended up being in a good place right in the middle. Like, I can't talk shit. And I was like, fucked up. Talk shit immediately every time. Ends up not looking good, and change. Brad does. Still got
Just
your
go
shot. Dude, you won round 1. It doesn't matter what happened in 3. You won round 1. And like if you win round 2 and 3, that's even worry about them. Don't let it build. Just go. But I was like talking shit to these guys immediately. Like fucking go. I do think our is fucking stacked.
I was about to ask you if you would walking us through your thoughts on this. And tell us, but all these, Kevin.
Yeah, bracket you see nobody important, and then when you slide over,
hold on.
Wait, all I see is Raph.
You see me on my shitty
perfect
thing, but I'm about to do something.
Yeah, just paste me. Oh, perfect, exactly where I belong.
Well, you know what, the weird part is, hold on. I want to make sure you understand. This is just giving you a taste of what it could be like if you did well. But I think you were looking at your next round. I'm
gonna screen cap this and print it out like it's fact. Yeah, if you look at the left side of the bracket, wait, where am I going? This one. This side of the bracket, you see nobody important. And then if you go over to that side of the bracket, you see me. And you also see like a very stacked, like you see Paul Ardia, Travis Thomas, Cam Hurd can get people motivated. You got Chris Wojcik and Tim Freeman have like good followings. In a popularity contest, I would rather be on the other side of the board with the people who like maybe don't care as much, or maybe I don't know that bottom corner of Jokage and Happy Rolling, like they feel like they'd get involved. They'd get pretty motivated about it. I'm trying to like win this sheerly off of giving the most fucks, like sharing it 400 times, getting people invested, offering private lessons if they vote, and then absolutely not following through on that. Like I'm doing everything I can. I'm getting real political up in here. I'm looking at every trick in the book, man. I'm going to tell people they can be in my cabinet if they get me a votes. We got to get some funding for this campaign.
Walk us through this. Who do you think you're going to see in the semis? Like, how do you see this playing out? So give me your semifinalists.
Semifinalists, if I can get through, I think Chris is going to beat Elijah. Probably. Just, he's got, it depends whether he posts the vote on the Grappler's Diary, but if he does, I think we're all cooked. But I think it's going to be me and Chris. If I can get through Chris, it's going to be me. And then Travis Thomas. And then Alex Enriquez or Musa. I know him through the clip you posted, which was hilarious. Going with him. And then down on the bottom, I have no fucking idea. None whatsoever. Okay. All of those guys, I feel like, could rally some support. Obviously, like Brian Peterson's a fan of the show, so he's going to be invested. And it just depends who's motivated and who shares it around, because everyone has relatively low vote counts right now. If you get 8 friends, which is like a group chat. I know we're like jiu-jitsu guys, we don't have that many friends, but if you get 8 friends, you can win the vote. Unless me and Tim, who apparently we've rallied a small township to fucking vote in this thing. But if most of these votes have like less than 50 votes on them so far, send it to your group chat and it's a wrap. David Garmo, you own a gym. Tell people to vote before they get on the mat. Like, what are you doing? So I don't know who's going to win that bottom left corner, but I think it's probably going to be Musa, Travis Thomas, me, and then whoever makes it out of that little melee.
That brings me to an interesting point here, Kevin, which is Tim have done such a good job promoting this contest to each other. It begs the question, could you do it with Chuck? Because I looked at it and said, wow, Tim and Kevin really pull their when it has to do against head against one another. I've never seen either plug this shit in the way that you have plugged it. Explain yourself, please.
I can't win the show.
You can't win the show. You're on the show. You won. Literally won a competition, have a third host. I won it. We told you won it, and you were like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden, like, that's cool. I'll reshare that. Then
yeah, I mean, it's like
Tim is like, hold on. I'm sorry. What? Hold on. How many group chats do I have? 4. Great. Every one of them did it twice. And then someone was like, you know, could really be a good thing if the show perhaps aired weekly and could plugged weekly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're trying to date the girl and you're trying to prove that you're like, no. And then she's like, yeah, we should settle down together. And you're like, perfect. No longer interested. Video games.
Okay. I'm glad we were able to clear that out. Whatever reason, I thought you had a solid explanation for.
That's the most handsome Kevin could have thought of written it better.
But it's also.
Listen, you want truth. You want honesty.
Also incredible because he's just like, at a hard, these guys all do nothing. Kevin, you're on the show. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You got yelled at.
I think I'm actually going to have everybody. We're at Saturday, tomorrow. Team promotions tomorrow. And I'm going to make an announcement and be like, hey, Instagram and fucking vote right now.
You're just going to see a sudden.
Just fucking 500 voters. I want you to vote. I'm looking in the face of your phone. I didn't see you pull that too fast. You don't even go to fucking.
This may influence me to go throw my elsewhere, Kevin.
Bro, it fucking. A few of my friends have been like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm getting Tim." I'm sure a bunch of those group chats, like they sent it to like local. They're like, vote for Kevin, and the guy that fucking rips my legs apart for no reason. No, looks white belts. I'm voting for the other guy. Fuck that. I'm probably getting a lot of Tim's votes as well.
The only person who made it competitive by putting it in groups.
It's weird.
It's like a 50-50 split in his own groups.
I started tipping by throwing it local Atlanta. Just like, oh yeah, fuck that guy.
I will tell you, I was surprised you got the most popular vote round. But we'll see what happens next round because I'll tell you this right now, it's looking pretty good for Wojcik. But I have one true test, and this is usually telling on if we're going to go a little bit further. Wojcik has added himself as a co-author because people don't add themselves as a co-author. I'm like, you're only hurting yourself, though.
I'm going to start sending Wojcik's vote on and telling people to vote for Eli Dorsey.
Wow. Campaigning.
I'm going to start stacking them
to you.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I know. He doesn't want to win 80. Like, show up and have everybody get sick.
I would love if I pulled up to like the PGF and people who pulled out because they got sick. Oh my god! Yeah, thanks. I'll take $40,000. Peace.
I was like, wait. So I don't know how much more injuries we for us to see in this year. Kevin, this topic we forge ahead to the next one. I thought this was intriguing for a certain reason, which is listen. money that is being exchanged in CJI or even other tournaments that maybe, like the PGF, give out 100K to some people that's some life-changing money. UFC/MMA stars will make the leap into We Have Money BJJ, which, by the way, is the most awkwardly written I've read on the show, but nonetheless, I still understand what you mean. So, since this is your, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, we're in the money era of BJJ. It's very surprising. So, as like Diego this week, he was like, "You got an offer to be on the S Invitational," and was like, "I'm kind of fat. I want to do it." I think they want to fight like Sean Brady, do a jiu-jitsu match with Sean Brady, and he was like, "Yeah, that guy's really on like 4 days notice," and so like I think it's getting a little more enticing, and jiu-jitsu's getting a little more rhythm to like step in. If you do those handshake agreements, like we won't do heel hooks agreements. I think a lot of people know that like if you're gonna go to jiu-jitsu a guy, MMA guy, it's like if you're getting the chance to go against for a super fight, don't rip his fucking leg apart because you're never gonna get a matchup like that again. I would love in a grappling match. That would be so fun. A lot of these retired guys that aren't necessarily jeopardize their current career in MMA, but you know, $10,000, $20,000 to pull up and do some jiu-jitsu with another MMA they feel is on par with them. I would love to see some of that. So yeah, that's my dream match. I would be Henry Cejudo indeed. That would be cool. I would love to see John Jones do jiu-jitsu. That would be cool. He had that match with Dan Henderson on Submission Underground. That was really impressive to me. So I would love to make it over to pure grappling and show what they've got, because I imagine they can fucking style a little bit if they're not worried about getting punched in the face.
Thank you for that. Isaac, do you have any matches or individuals that you think could get that We Got Money asked to their life?
I mean, I kind of have a rebuttal to Kevin because honestly, I feel like that the MMA guys are annoying when they come into the jiu-jitsu world sometimes, because the flip side of what you're saying of that they don't have to worry about getting punched in the face. Then they complain when they can't get their jiu-jitsu to work. They're like, "Oh, well, if I can punch you in the face, I can make it work." And you're like, "Yes, but that's not the game we're playing." So I could agree with you on the heel hook thing, even though it makes me like cringe. I don't want to see like those go away, because it's like, if we're gonna play, just maybe we stop trying to get each other's legs out when we're in those type of games. Like, just get to the position, and maybe you don't force me to break your leg. And we like have like the gentleman's agreement stuff. I think it gets kind of stupid, but the like dream matchups, I think that it would be fun to see the MMA guys that are at the top in my head right now, but Oliveira, is that who I'm trying to think? I believe that would be like somebody, like somebody like that would be interested. Like literally, they have some of the best jiu-jitsu that he just falls down in front of people unless it's like that'd be fun to watch him in a real jiu-jitsu match. And so I think again, it's like a shout out real quick back to the like something, a lesson that we've learned from the PGF is that like you can't play the game that guys are playing where they just get broke off. The thing that the MMA guys are scared of, the jiu-jitsu athletes should be afraid of too. So maybe we should like tap earlier and like have a better actual sport agreement on what we're doing, but don't limit it and don't take away the movement. Just understand that we're both professional athletes, and just because I am capable of blowing your leg out doesn't mean that I'm going to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That answers the question.
The thing that came cut you off, Raph.
No.
The thought quarterbacks sliding. I can't remember who recently that slide. It's not super recent. A few years ago, in the NFL like fake slide like 10, 15 yards. And defensive super fucking like, bro, we are 300 pounds and hit you, 5-second 40, right? We can hit you as fuck. Don't, because we're all professionals playing the game, and we what could happen to you. Right. The second you start taking advantage of us being fucking, you're gonna get. I cannot remember who it was, but like I like that game of like, yo, you don't have to can break my leg. I know for a fact you can. It's all good.
Yeah, like we can be like a games this versus we can force their leg. I think we could guys with the big money come over. Sorry, Raph.
No, you're good. I do feel like wonder what the upside is. I always wonder like how much are they actually bringing to us? Elevating without them. They just seem like they're taking more of the pie from the actual people. And if so, what is it that we're looking to get from them? The weird part of this is, as we start to wait, I want people to really budgets and say, what is the con of having an athlete? How many more can they get? It's the same equation for Gordon, just like get eyeballs, but he's not going to be cost effective in a market jiu-jitsu is necessarily going to be able to trend when he deplete as an athlete. Like his monetary value, much even like Conor McGregor, where it's like the big, but then over time that starts to slide down. When you see the slide down, they're probably going to be trying to charge as they should, but that doesn't mean you need to meet them at that price. So it's always going to be a draw. What's worth paying? And then ask yourself, why are you not building up these new athletes to become showcase stars, to become that build very in the right demographics? So I feel like some of those things are going to change. I'm curious to find out who those people now money kind of folks come into it. Even some of the like it's like man, he's a good following, biggest in the world. It's like very active. He'll go take a suit. That's an interesting person to put in. That's probably affordable. Sean Brady, very smart.
Cody Durden's looking one right now.
I mean, Cody Durden's fun to watch.
He's like, I want to do some jiu-jitsu, man. Like, I want to put some time into some skill sets. Time, I want to do some jiu-jitsu. So, shout out any fucking producers who are looking to book UFC star.
I mean, think about it. If the UFC is signing these deals, to be an inevitable thing where you're going to get some of these jiu-jitsu guys match some of these MMA stars. So I guess it just begs a few questions on what did they have in mind? What does Craig Jones Invitational have in mind? And then what does next year's ADCC trials look like? People forget it's not an ADCC year per se, but October there will be a process. And that'll take some people off the market who are very fun to watch. So a lot of question mark 2025, but for 7 months, kind of an open. Even if you look at May card, Aiga, there's still going to be teams, and there's going to be a 10th Planet team. There's Checkmat. There's Team Acai. There's going to be a Team Dolphin. There's still a lot of people are going for stuff. The only thing I wanted to add about the Jones Invitational is one separate, or if it's intentionally done to try and show Aiga that you can make it more exciting. Like, last time they came after individualness of DCC because that was the mechanism. Now, if they're trying to tell people any format and going after a tournament to offer $1 million seems very interesting when guys that you can. So, stuff to consider. Gentlemen, this week there was no one to supply us with a fight. So, unfortunately, there is none. And we have made it the only other gap I have is just from Wallow, who just says, Feliz Navidad then. Well, hey, man, listen. I don't understand Spanish either, so it's rude of you to assume that. Weird. Nonetheless.
Feliz Navidad me. Raph,
Thank you. appreciate that. Well, speaking of, we do have something to take before we sign off.
The
next, we can look at the end here. If the children done their properly, you guys will see 10 of the best clips, not just from me, from Tim, not just from Kevin, all three of us. So that means you're going to see a top 10 from Kevin, a top 10 from Tim, and a top 10 from so a lot of fun. The grapple still do. We'll have our top 10 countdown of our top the people who were featured on the version of the show. So those just interviews, not running the gauntlet, not any of the bull stuff, just top interviews. Grappler style. Then there's also to be a countdown of best clips from here from the grappling hour shows. You guys will. So that's what we're coming up, just to let you guys know. And let's give you guys some time to play stuff. I'm going to start with you, Isaac. Tell the people where they can see you, sir.
I'm Wondering Grappler on most of all the internets, and then I've got another thing that's I'm kind of reviving is the Daily Stack, which is kind of some jiu-jitsu content going up that I've been accumulating over the years and whatnot, and so that's coming. Me and Steven have a podcast together. That's the Dream Show Live. It's every Wednesday, 10 a.m. ish, somewhere in the world. So it's around 10 a.m. Central and around 9 a.m. Eastern. And then, I'm all over the planet. I'm going to be in the Southeast for the next couple weeks. So if anybody wants to have me hang around, hit me up.
Sounds good. Isaac, thank you for joining us today. Kevin, plug your stuff as well. Good, sir.
Yeah, Kevin Grapples on Instagram. You can come train with me at American Time Lima in Duluth, Georgia, or Superfly in Decatur, Georgia. I'll be cornering a bunch of my guys for Fight to Win in Atlanta, January 4th. I'll be cornering Reese Watkins on Fury, Baby Goose. Something else is happening that month also, and they're just going to have to be okay because I can't remember who it is.
Wow. Good coach. Do you have any appeal that you want to go ahead and make for?
Never mind. They're fine. They'll do fine without my plug. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas, Mom.
Very sweet. Merry Christmas, Mama Cheryl. Well, gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to close up, but I'm going to let you get on out of here. And to conclude today's episode, we're going to take a look at a 16-minute video that Isaac put together. We appreciate it. It's some great background information and behind-the-scenes stuff that happened at Jiu Overdose. But on behalf of all of us today, thank you guys for tuning in. It has been a great day for grappling. We'll see you guys back on the mats. Hold on, I gotta find the right thing.
It's day 4.
No,
that was a great close.
Just kidding. We're not going anywhere.
Jade Robledo, your favorite 10 Planet Princess, here from Jiu-Jitsu Overdose, day 4. Today is Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds, and we're about to start the rule meetings. Have Eddie Bravo, Victor Davila, Mike Beltran, and everyone waiting to hear what's new on the rules, because we know that there's been combat jiu-jitsu where they suddenly pop up with a new rule. I don't think this is going to be the case because we already had 2 shows with those rule sets. But well, you never know. We're starting this day 4, already began since the morning with the Martinez brothers, with Gio and Boogeyman. They were talking about rubber guard and bird traps and a lot of witchery, so it's been really packed, really awesome.
Hoy ya vamos a empezar el evento, estamos a minutos de comenzar este pedo. Van a haber muchos golpes, muchos cachetados, muchos slaps, esas de padrastro, y pues mucho jiu-jitsu, entonces todos estamos chidos.
A huevo, sí estamos.
Oh, sí estamos, a huevo. Yo quiero estar como tú, perro, como tú, nada más como tú.
I'm really excited about seeing Matt again on combat jiu-jitsu mats just because his last performance was really impressive, really nice, good jiu-jitsu, good action, good scrambles. That was smart from him. He was starting to get an angle where he were going to start hitting. He was smart. Nice entry.
Referee for this opening round bout is Master Vic, Victor Donovan.
My name is Matt Mosh. I'm a 19-year-old purple belt. I come out of New York, upstate New York, in Wappingers Falls area. I train out of Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, and I've been training about 5 or 6 years now.
Last time we saw you in Mexico City on Combat Jiu-Jitsu World with an outstanding performance, with being like a runner-up from that weight division, and right now you're here. Tell me, how are you different from that past match?
So last time it was at 45. It was a great experience. You know, I learned a lot. For it being, you know, my first combat jiu-jitsu tournament, let alone at that level, it was a big step, you know, and stepping up was huge. And so, like, the experience level and kind of just like my game and honestly the setting, I brought all of that into the, you know, drawing board, and I kind of, you know, touched it up, worked on it, stuff like that. And now we're here. I mean, I couldn't feel any better, stuff like that. It's an honor to even be here, honestly, at my age. So, honestly, experience and my game has grown so much from it. After this, I was thinking Worlds, because I know that's going on now. So Nogi Worlds, Pan, stuff like that. I'd like to get on a WNO card. Honestly, any high-profile matches I'm looking for, and I just want to have fun. So if they want me to do more combat jiu-jitsu, I'm here. I love the crowd, stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel much better. I feel like I've been areas, and you know, mentally, you know, so I'm happy and I feel much better than ever.
Is something different you work like this time that you feel that maybe it's mentally, maybe it's physically? How do you feel like, in which way you feel different from all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever worked harder, you know. I think I'm working hard as ever, and I feel like I'm constantly getting better and like focusing on getting better, and that's made a huge difference.
Hi guys, my name is JJ Bowers. I'm fighting out of Mesa, Arizona. I'm 18 years old and I'm about to take this whole world by storm, I promise. It's just all I've been training for my entire life. Forgot to take my mouth guard out, that's how in it I am. But yeah, my name is JJ Bowers, don't forget it.
What are you looking forward to show off on your jiu-jitsu tonight?
Honestly, I feel like I don't wrestle enough when I do jiu-jitsu, so I just wanted to blast double somebody off the rip, and then I did it twice. So takedowns and you know, just keeping that top pressure the whole time. If you smack someone enough, they'll let go of you. My next match is going to be against Keith Krikorian. It's going to be a great match. That's going to be it's one of my toughest challenges yet, but I feel like I have the skill set to go out there and beat him any way I want to. But all respect to everybody in this game. There's so many killers. Anything can happen at any time, and I appreciate everybody that comes through and watches this kind of shit, because you see how awesome these events are that we put up. You know, it's like great matches happen all the time. It gives me a platform. It gives Eddie a platform. It gives everybody around the world a platform to do what they want to do with their life. So I appreciate it. Representing Penguin Jiu-Jitsu, here is Keith Krikorian.
Ew, that was crazy.
I feel excited now. I just got a whole new breath of wind. I've expelled almost no energy yet. I know it's only been 6 minutes of rolling so far, and I'm in the semifinals. This feels insane. I just want to say thank you, God. You know, that's all.
That was great.
Thank you so much. I feel like I have great defensive wrestling, and and I felt me and Keith's head smack right into each other. We both got like a mini concussion right there at the same time, but I shrugged it off, and then he started to shoot wildly, and I caught him with the same anaconda that I caught the other guy in. So it's great. It's great.
You almost put it to sleep. Yeah.
He did. He passed out.
Yeah,
He knocked out, and I felt his neck crunch, and I felt bad, but you know that's part of the game.
Yeah, it's part of the play. Yeah, that was really good. What's your plan game for the other one? For your game plan?
My game plan going forward is to do the exact same shit, heavy with the wrestling, and just keep hitting people that think that jiu-jitsu is the only thing that they can do. It's not gonna work. I can hit you. I can hit anybody, and I can submit them too. It's a crazy feeling. It's a crazy feeling.
That's really great to hear that.
That's
amazing. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I appreciate everybody here. Thank you.
Thank you. How do you feel about your match?
It was good. It's clean. There's a mistake. I was on top. He actually tried to play rubber guard on me, which is interesting.
I saw that.
And so I just pinned and stepped over. But I'm actually trying to play for top crucifix. I had a good hold. He actually was able to hold off the top crucifix, so I had to switch back. And then I didn't really want to give up top there, so it was actually kind of a little bit of a mistake. But then, yeah, we got into the guard. He kind of messed up by throwing a few strikes there and gave me my rubber guard. So things happen fast in combat jiu-jitsu. Yeah, you get.
Trying to make like that or just happen?
It just happens. You have to close the distance in combat jiu-jitsu. You can't have any open space, but it is me. It is my style. It is how it's gonna happen fast with me, one way or another.
Probably not. Yeah. Well, you went with the worst guy first. Because like, if you looked at their match at the beginning, they were active, but during they were so shit. Actually strike. Like, that's usually what happens when you go against, like normal grapplers. Like he was like heavy hitter. Want to just, bro? Even imagine he relinquished all of his control just to in OT with Rock. Like if that doesn't tell you about his mentality, that's bro. This is good. Be some thought.
I mean, we know the guy. We kind of game planned a little bit. We knew if I faced him, I'd be able to take him down. And then on top, really it's the same game plan. I'm working to cut angles, drag, and strike. And off of that, I'm just bringing them in deep waters. I got him into EBI, and I knew, I trusted Mike, my coach. If we can go arm, he said go arm and finish, and that's what I did. And I escaped when it was his turn. So that's just how we do it here at Blackwood.
First of all, congratulations. Like, I'm so happy to see you with the belt. I've seen you like evolving through the past combat jiu-jitsu to now to see you become the combat jiu-jitsu champion. Tell me, what are your afterthoughts after all this craziness?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now, I want to sit down, have a sip of water, enjoy the time here with my coach and my teammate. And then after, I want to take a little bit of a break, focus on my kids I teach and the wrestling team I help with, and then honestly pick right back up because, this is only the beginning. January's coming up, and I'd love to start the year out even better. I'm thinking, like I told them, a UFC Fight Pass or Flow WNO. But otherwise, I want to do Worlds, Pans, in the Nogi circuit, of course, and I just go from there.
Excellent. One more thing. What's something you're looking forward to eat right now?
Where to eat? I'd love a big steak, some sushi, maybe some horchata.
We just finished an incredible weekend jiu-jitsu overdose. The combat jiu-jitsu just to an end. We got our champion. We already talked with him, and now we have Jonathan Hernandez. He is really well known here in the community as the head coach of 10 Planet Cancun, and he's been a really we can say really important part of the combat jiu-jitsu being here and helping
a little bit to grow.
Let's be honest. So can you introduce to the people that doesn't know you, what are you doing here?
Yeah, everybody calls me Johnny. Yes, I'm Johnny Hernandez. I'm the head coach in 10 Planet Cancun. I'm a black belt under Eddie Bravo. And yeah, this was an idea that 7 years ago I told Eddie, hey, Eddie, let me do an event in a resort. I know it's gonna be fun. And suddenly in 2020, there was this opportunity of doing not just one, but 3 events. And suddenly we are in the number 10. So it's amazing that we had just the jiu-jitsu overdose, and it was really an overdose of jiu-jitsu. I'm so happy. I'm really, I enjoy every day a lot, and a lot more the days that my athletes were competing like Hade. And so I'm really thankful for everything that's happened these days.
Thank you very much. This will be everything for this time. Next year we're gonna be on Vallarta in 2025. So keep in tune with us. Us.